Taoiseach, over the last number of years, different electricity suppliers came into the market here in Ireland. One of them was Iberdrola, who acquired about 30,000 customers, mostly businesses in Ireland. And this company, for the record, has left Ireland now, voluntarily, may I add, but it posted 1 billion profit in the first quarter of this year. And I give you an instance of one business that I have been talking to, Black Donkey in Ballinlaw, it's a brewery, who came out of their original contract that they were in, and to go into a new contract with this company, with the increase in obviously electricity costs, it was 145% more than what they were paying before. But in February of this year, they signed the contract with this company. Obviously in March then, they start getting supplied. They use what they call a green energy provider to see where can they get the best price. And everything was going okay. But funnily enough, in June in the media, and I want to state in the media, they heard that Iberdrola had left Ireland. They had got no word whatsoever. They went to their green energy supplier, not knowing what was happening, to see could they get another supplier, and Bord Gas was the only other one that was there at the cheapest rate, 16% more. So they decided to sign a contract with them. But lo and behold, 1 month later, they got a letter from the CRU stating that Electric Ireland would be taking over Iberdrola's contracts. It would be 30% more than what the original contract was signed at, and they could not get out of it until the 1st of the 9th, 2022. So the data has been transferred without any consent from this company. Everything about them has been given to Electric Ireland, and the CRU has done nothing about this. If you look at the contract that they signed, in one part of it, it states very clearly that Iberdrola would have to give 1 month's written notice, but this seems to be bypassed completely. This company is now facing in September, at least with the 145% increase and with what electricity has gone up since, it is now facing up on 200% of an increase in electricity. And what I am trying to find out, Taoiseach, is why is this happening? What is the CRU doing? Under EU legislation and under Irish legislation, how can this be tolerated? In my books, a contract is a contract.
I want to thank the Deputy for raising this issue. I'm informed that on the 31st of May, Iberdrola announced that it would be exiting the market in a controlled exit. I understand that while the company is profitable globally, it was not profitable when it came to its Irish operations. The Supplier of Last Resort protocol was introduced, and that's managed by the Commission for Regulation of Utilities, or CRU. The primary objective is to ensure that customers' electricity and gas supply is not interrupted. Under this, all customers of exiting suppliers are transferred to the standard tariff of that gas or electricity supplier. Electric Ireland and Bord Gáis Energy, as the suppliers of last resort for electricity and gas respectively, were directed by the CRU to take over the electricity and gas supply of Iberdrola customers. ESB Networks and Gas Networks Ireland transferred the customers to Electric Ireland and Bord Gáis Energy with no interruption to power or gas supplies. Customers will remain with the supplier of last resort until the 31st of August 2022, and the customer will then be free to switch from the 1st of September 2022. However, once the transfer process is complete, customers can renegotiate the standard tariffs with Electric Ireland and Bord Gáis Energy, both of which offer competitive rates. This is the same for business customers. The CRU has indicated that customers who were in the process of switching from their old supplier may need to check with their new supplier that this switch has been completed correctly. This is because when the customers are being moved from the existing supplier, any switches currently in process may be cancelled as part of the technical transfer to the supplier of last resort. The duration of term is determined on a number of factors, including the large volume of customers transferring, the requirement to purchase additional energy in the short term on the wholesale market, and to allow adequate time to facilitate the registering of customers and the issuing of bills. As Iberdrola made a commercial decision to exit the Irish market, they requested it be done through the supplier of last resort process, as it was commercially unsustainable for them to continue to operate in Ireland. The timing of the decision taken by Iberdrola to leave the Irish market unfortunately left a limited window for their customers to switch supplier. While both BGE and Electric Ireland will write to domestic customers within this period to offer them the opportunity to take a contract on discounted or improved rates, the key message to all customers is to contact Electric Ireland or Bord Gáis Energy once they've been transferred and have received communication from the new suppliers. If customers do not wish to avail of the renegotiated rate, they can of course switch. The Electricity and Gas Supplier Handbook, which was recently updated by the Commission, states that the standard terms and conditions must include that a customer's personal information may be transferred to the supplier of last resort in the event of a direction from the CRU, and any requirements which apply to customers in relation to safety or network-related activity.
Taoiseach, when they left Ireland, they left it voluntary. They didn't go bankrupt. They made $1 billion in the first 3 months of a profit. So generally, what you would do, if you were losing money on something, and some companies do it, they have to take the hit one place while they make money somewhere else. Second of all, you stated that Bord Gáis and Electric Ireland, that the CRU contacted them. This company had a contract signed with Bord Gáis, and they were told that they couldn't use it. They had to go to Electric Ireland. Where is the process when you are supposed to give 1 month's notice written that they heard it on the media and never even got a letter or notice from Iberdrola? Is it anything to do that the likes of Iberdrola is supposed to be putting in 160 million in offshore wind in Ireland? Are they being let off scot-free from the Irish market because they are going to have investments? Or what is the CRU playing at to allow this to happen? The reality now is that a small business in rural Ireland that employs people, not alone 145% of an increase early on, is now going to be at 200% at least of an increase in their electricity, is being forced that they cannot sign a new contract until September, which you and I and the dog on the street knows that electricity is going to be dearer. Is this the way we're going to save rural businesses from losing jobs? In my opinion, Taoiseach, that's not the way you treat a business. A contract is a contract and should be honoured.
Thanks, Deputy. I'm probably not across this issue in the detail that I should be, and I will speak to Minister Ryan about it and ask my office to make contact with the CRU to see if anything can be done. I do know that no business, no customer can be charged twice for the same unit of electricity, and I suspect what the company did on this occasion was to try to buy market share by selling below cost. Didn't work out. They lost money and they decided now to leave the state. But I do take the point you're making. Contracts should be honoured, and if somebody engages in a deliberate strategy where they try to buy market share by below cost selling, they should still honour the contract. The difficulty we have, of course, is that if somebody does leave, how can you enforce it if they're not here anymore? And perhaps something can be done through the courts, I don't know, but I will follow up on it with Minister Ryan and the CRU and see if there's anything else that can be done.
Thank you very much.